We are
Most
ready
gracious, the
for
most
war.
merciful,
Tell
all praise is
Netayahu
due
we
to
are
Allah,
not
Lord of the worlds,
afraid.
and may peace and blessings be upon his trustworthy messenger, and upon his family and all his companions. To proceed, amidst the events that are shaking our beloved homeland, I find it a national duty to address these words to you as a heartfelt message to this people who have always defied hardships and have never wavered from their steadfast principles. Our people who have sacrificed the dearest and most precious things so that Syria may remain free and proud and at the forefront of nations aspiring to dignity and honor. Our people rose up in a revolution to attain their freedom, and they triumphed in it, making tremendous sacrifices. And this people remain ever ready to fight for their dignity, should it face any threat. O proud Syrian people, today, as we face this new challenge, we are living in the midst of a battle aimed at protecting the unity of our country, the dignity of our people, and the resilience of our nation. The Israeli entity, which has always accustomed us to targeting our stability and sowing discord among us since the fall of the former regime, is once again seeking to turn our sacred land into an endless arena of chaos, through which it aims to fragment the unity of our people and weaken our ability to move forward on the path of reconstruction and revival. This entity never ceases to use every method to sow discord and conflict, forgetting the fact that Syrians, throughout their long history, have always rejected all forms of separation and division. Possessing great power does not necessarily mean achieving victory, and winning on one front does not guarantee success on another. You may be able to start a war, but it is not easy to control its outcome. We are the children of this land, and we are the most capable of overcoming all the Israeli entities' attempts to tear us apart, and we are too steadfast for our resolve to be shaken by fabricated strife. We, the sons of Syria, know very well who is trying to drag us into war and who seeks to divide us, and we will not give them the chance to entangle our people in a war they wish to ignite on our land. A war whose only aim is to fragment our homeland and scatter our efforts toward chaos and destruction. For Syria is not a testing ground for foreign conspiracies, nor a place for others to pursue their ambitions at the expense of the blood of our children and women. The state of Syria belongs to everyone. It is the dignity and pride of the nation. It is the dream of every Syrian to see their homeland rebuild itself anew. Through this state, we all unite without discrimination in order to restore Syria's prestige and place it at the forefront of nations living in security and stability. Building a new Syria requires all of us to rally around our state and adhere to its principles, and to place the interests of the nation above any individual or narrow interests. What we need today is for all of us to be partners in this reconstruction and to work hand in hand to overcome all the challenges we face. Unity is our weapon and hard work is our path, while our steadfast will is a foundation upon which we will build this bright future. I would also like to especially mention in my speech our Druze community, who are an integral part of the fabric of this nation. Syria will never be a place for division, fragmentation, or sowing discord among its people. We assure you that protecting your rights and freedoms is one of our top priorities, and that we reject any attempt to drag you toward an external party or to create division within our ranks. We are all partners in this land, and we will not allow any group whatsoever to distort this beautiful image that represents Syria and its diversity. The Syrian state, with all its institutions and leadership, intervened with full determination and resolved to put an end to the internal fighting that took place in Sweda between armed groups from Sweda and those from surrounding areas, which erupted due to old disputes. Instead of helping the state to calm the situation, groups outside the law emerged, groups accustomed to chaos, disorder, and inciting strife. The leaders of these gangs are the very same ones who have refused dialogue for many months, placing their narrow personal interests above the interests of the nation, and in recent days, they have committed various crimes against civilians. Nevertheless, the Ministries of Defense and Interior carried out a wide-scale deployment in the Suwaida Governorate as part of their diligent efforts to restore security and put an end to the escalation that the region had witnessed. They succeeded in restoring stability and expelling the outlawed factions, despite Israeli interventions. At this point, the Israeli entity resorted to extensive targeting of civilian and government facilities in order to undermine these efforts. This greatly complicated the situation and pushed matters toward a large-scale escalation, if not for the effective intervention of American, Arab, and Turkish mediation, which saved the region from an unknown fate. So we were faced with two options: open war with the Israeli entity at the expense of our Druze people and their security, and destabilizing Syria and the entire region, and allowing the Druze elders and dignitaries the opportunity to come to their senses and prioritize the national interest over those who seek to tarnish the reputation of the honorable people of the mountain. We are not among those who fear war, for we have spent our lives facing challenges and defending our people, but we place the interests of the Syrians above chaos and destruction. Thus, the best option at this stage was to make a precise decision to protect the unity of our homeland and the safety of its people, based on the supreme national interest. We therefore decided to assign some local factions and the religious Druze elders the responsibility of maintaining security in Sweida, emphasizing that this decision stems from our deep awareness of the gravity of the situation for our national unity, and to avoid dragging the country into a new wide-scale war that could pull it further away from its major goals of recovering from the devastating conflict, and to keep it away from the political and economic hardships left behind by the former regime. In conclusion, we are committed to holding accountable anyone who has wronged or harmed our Druze community, for they are under the protection and responsibility of the state. The law and justice guarantee the rights of everyone without exception.